Hello and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranch. Today I have to give you a quick Capper Comparison Picks for some more prelim fights for UFC Vegas 45. I got to do this kind of quick because, like I said yesterday, I have my kid's Christmas concert tonight. He's the percussionist, so he drums. He plays the drums in the band, and that's tonight. So I left work a little bit early just so I can get this video out before I have to leave for that Christmas concert. So without further ado, be sure to check out the video I did last night with other prelim fights. This is not in order in any which way or form, but they are prelim fights. I did 3 prelim fights yesterday. Be sure to check that out. I also did a recap of 269. Check that out. And now, without further ado, I'm going to get right into this. Like I said, I'm kind of short on time, so I'm going to zip kind of through this kind of fast. But nonetheless, the information is there to gather. The documents are there, Real News MMA. Collect those documents, make your bets. All right, so let's get into this. We've got the female fight between Sijara, Sarge, Eubanks taking on Melissa Gatto. Oh, Melissa Gatto, is she not beautiful or what? Anyway, Sijara Eubanks, Sarge, she comes in as a pretty good favorite. But the line did move. She did open up at minus 220, but money's been coming in on Gatto, so it went down to minus 171 now. So if you're on Sarge, just stick it out because I think the line's going to move even further. Melissa Gatto, undefeated. She has a couple draws, but she's never been beat. She's 7-0-2. I think this is why the line moved. She did open up at plus 180. Now she's at plus 146. So if you're on Gatto, I hope you took her early. But anyway, here we go. Sijara Eubanks, 7-6. Favorite, minus 171. She's 36 years old. Melissa Gatto, 25 years old. So that is 11 years difference, despite what the Perfect Parlay Pursuit was like 9 years difference. I guess they can't do the math right. But it's 11 years difference between Gatto and Eubanks. That's more than a decade. Okay? Sarge is coming off a decent win, a good win against Elise Reed. Ground and pound round 1. However, before that, she does have a loss to Pani Kianzad, unanimous decision. And then before that, she had a loss to Caitlin Vieira, both prime candidates in the women's. What is this? Is this strawweight? I don't even know. I didn't write it down, but anyway, notable names in the UFC for females. Okay, prior to her loss to Caitlin Vieira, she does have some good wins. Julia Vila and Sarah Moraes, both win by unanimous decision for Sarge Sijara Eubanks, the 36-year-old here. Now her opponent, 7 wins, 0 losses, 2 draws. Let me discuss that. So undefeated, she did have a decent layoff. She had a layoff of like 2 or 3 years or something, but she came back from that layoff and got a dominant victory over Victoria Leonardo. I think she broke her arm, I think. Round 2, I do believe. So she got that victory. Before that, she had a victory over Carol Rosa Kamara, and that was in round 1. She is 4-0-1 in her last 5. Melissa Gatto, besides having the 11-year age advantage, she does have a very slight height and reach advantage, 1-inch height, 2-inch reach advantage for Melissa Gatto. Interesting enough, Melissa Gatto, on Tapology, said she trains out of a Brazilian facility called MSP. This is kind of WTF. What the F? Everybody in the entire facility, except for the staff, is all females. Every fighter in there is a female. Check it out on Tapology, MSP. I'm interested. Is that like can I go there and join these girls? Can male fighters go in this facility? The only males I see are in the staff, which is male dominated. I think there's only one female in the staff. I could be wrong though. But there's like 9 coaches and they're all male, except for the jiu-jitsu coach is a female. But I thought that was very interesting. So there's plenty of females to train with out of MSP, all women facility in Brazil for Melissa Gatto. Okay, let's see what the cappers have to say on this interesting fight. We got the veteran experience going against the hot prospect. And when I say hot, I do mean hot, like invisibly hot. She is a very attractive girl, Melissa Gatto. Okay, Sajara Eubanks, they don't even know. Taples doesn't have a listed facility, but it just says Maryland. I want to say it's Lloyd Irving, but I can't verify that. So take that. I'm sure if you Instagram or Google search or Sheerdog or something, you'll be able to find out where she trains. But Tapologies, it just says Maryland. So I don't know, but I want to say I think in the past when I broke down fights of hers, I do remember mentioning Lloyd Irving some way or some form. Anyway, and Lloyd Irving is out of Maryland, so it makes sense. So taking Sijara Eubanks, we've got James Lynch, the interviewer. Of course he's going to say decision. This is a female fight. So James Lynch is taking Sarge Sijara Eubanks by decision. Then jumping over here, we've got it's your boy, Eubanks. And he's saying Gatto should get the submission victory here. He actually even said first round. I don't know about all that, but submission is a pretty good bet there. Then we've got the Stat Diggers. Now the Stat Diggers, they were kind of split. DFS, that's Brady. He's on the side of Sijara Eubanks. However, Wheezy, he's not like strong on this opinion. He's kind of gonna pass on this, but I wrote something down where I think he's leaning Gatto here because of her youth and her record, I would imagine. Then we've got the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. This is not Triple P certified, however. We've got the brothers Luke and Alex, both taking Sijara Eubanks, whereas in Dan the Bet Man, is taking Melissa Gatto, thus making it not Triple P certified. Then we've got, for the tiebreaker, we've got Leighton. Leighton from UFC Gambling Addicts is on board with Melissa Gatto. I like it a lot. She is the plus money, plus 145. And strangely enough, I think I read on Tapology, like the public pick, 70% going Melissa Gatto. So I have no idea. I do know why Sarge is the favorite, because she's got that experience against higher quality strength of schedule. But you can't take Melissa Gatto. She's yet to lose. She's got 2 draws, which is weird, but she hasn't lost. So I'm also taking the very beautiful Melissa Gatto. Oh, El Gato was a cat. I'm gonna take Melissa Gatto by. It's a female fight. Go by decision. The over 2.5 rounds is at minus 205. So even the bookies think it's going to go to decision. Most female fights do. Not all of them, of course, obviously, but this one I think will probably play out to decision. Or I think submission is a pretty good prop too. But we'll just keep it at submission for Melissa Gatto over Sarge Eubanks, especially because of the 11-year age difference. That weighs big on me. So, moving on. Like I said, these aren't in order, but they are all prelim fights. Next, we have Charles Air Jourdain, fighting out of Academia Pro Star up in Canada. He is the 2-1 favorite, minus 200, taking on André, Mr. Highlight, André Ewell. André Ewell is a plus 170 underdog. Charles Jourdain does have the age advantage here, coming in at 26 years old. André Ewell is 33. Okay, let's talk about Charles Jourdain, the favorite, first. 11-4-1 is his record. He's coming off a loss to Juicy J. Julian Erosa, where he got Darce choked in round 3. I remember I lost money on that. I did pick Jourdain to win that. So a little bit of salty taste in my mouth after that. However, before that, he has a win against Marcelo Rojo, punches in round 3. And before that, he has a draw against, that's that one right there. His draw against Joshua Coulibaugh. So he's 2-2-1 in his last 5. Not that bad, not that great either. 1-inch height advantage for Charles Jourdain. However, André Ewell, 6-inch reach advantage. That does come into play. That's 3 inches on each arm that he's got over Charles Jourdain. And André Ewell is a rangy fighter, and André Ewell is plus 170. André Ewell, Mr. Highlight, 17 wins, 8 losses as a professional. He's coming off back-to-back losses. The most recent one was the Julio Arce. Julio Arce took him out in round 2 via punches, and before that he lost to Chris Gutierrez by unanimous decision. However, before that, you got to keep in mind he does have 2 split decision wins, one against Erwin Rivera, a good fighter, and one against Jonathan Martinez. Both those fights, though, he won via split decision, meaning he did not get the unanimous vote from the judges. One judge picked Rivera and one judge picked Martinez in both those fights. He is 2-3 in his last 5. André Ewell also coming up a weight class from bantamweight 135 to featherweight 145. So keep that in mind. André Ewell fights out of the Apex MMA and Carlson Gracie Riverside. They're both in California. And Carlson Gracie Riverside, Jalen Turner is one of the notable fighters that come out of there that André Ewell ideally should be training with that guy, Jalen Turner. But I can't confirm that for Mr. Highlights. Now, let's see what the cappers have to say in this very close fight. We've got taken Charles Jourdain, Triple P certified Air Jourdain, all Luke, Alex, and Dan, all the Perfect Parlay Pursuit guys are Triple P certifying Air Jourdain in this pick. Then jumping over to the side, André Ewell, both the stat diggers. Actually, Brady is going to pass on this, and Wheezy is saying dog or pass in this position. He's not very pleased with Charles Jourdain's most recent fight against Julian Rosa, so he thinks this is kind of even. So when it's kind of even, take the value. He's saying dog or pass, so I'm going to write both the stat diggers on the side of Ewell. However, like I said, DFS, Brady, not confident, but he is leaning Ewell if he has to take a side. Then we've got Leighton, UFC Gambling Addicts, also taking Air Jourdain in this fight. And jump back over here, it's your boy again, eBay's Fight Predictions, and eBay's is taking Mr. Highlight André Ewell by decision, which is a live, very good bet because, like I said, if he keeps it in range and uses his boxing, 6-inch reach advantage. If he uses that to his advantage, he could totally get this fight. And finally, for the tiebreaker, we've got the interviewer, James Lynch, and James Lynch is on the side of Charles Jourdain. Be sure to check out James Lynch's Vegas 45 playlist, where he has every interview of every fighter that he interviewed from this card on that list. I want to say he did interview both, if not both, at least one of these 2 guys. And I think the other one was JHK, John Hyun Ko, one of James Lynch's very good friends. They do videos together, and between the 2 of them, they pretty much interview everybody. Okay, so James Lynch on the side of Charles Jourdain, edging out the majority here for the cappers. I'm kind of at a crossroads here. I don't know which way to go, but I will take Jourdain because of the youth and the better record. I'm not taking that Juicy J, Julian Rosa loss. But you know what? It's just because when I go against Charles Jourdain, he ends up winning. When I go for Charles Jourdain, he ends up losing. I've yet to win money with Charles Jourdain. Every time I bet for or against him, he ends up costing me money. So I don't know what to do here. But I'm going to go with my gut. My gut says, you know what though? Ewell is at the end of a contract, 3-fight contract. I do believe this is the last fight of the contract, so that's giving him a little incentive. And I did hear that he's a relatively new father. That father comes into play, and he's plus money, and he's got a 6-inch reach advantage. So all that being said, I'm going to wait for weigh-ins, but for the sake of this show, I'm going to go André Ewell plus money to get the decision victory. Hopefully he'll be able to use his 6-inch reach advantage, keep Charles Jourdain at range and outpoint him, outstrike him. But it's going to be a close fight. It could go either way. But I'm going to lean Mr. Highlight André Ewell. Let's go. Finally, we got the low-level fight between Justin Tafa and Harry Hunsucker. What a name, Harry Hunsucker. Okay, Justin Tafa comes in as the Wish version of Tai Tuivasa. He is, that's a little joke I've been putting in the chat rooms that I go on to live, and people seem to like it. You know, the Wish version is always the worst version of the same type of fighter, because he is Islander, he got the Samoan tattoos, and he's from Australia. But he's got a crap record, 4-3, only 7 professional fights. He's taking on Harry Hunsucker, who Tai Tuivasa just recently beat. Harry Hunsucker's 7-4. He's got just as many wins as Tafa has fights. Tafa's a -340 favorite. How the F is that even possible? How does he get that big of a gap over Harry Hunsucker? Must be the name. Harry Hunsucker, actually, his 7-4, he's actually got like 4 submissions and 3 knockouts in those wins. So he does have some ground game. Where Tafa, I do believe all his wins are via either decision or knockout. So I don't know, I think if it goes to the ground, you'd have to give the advantage to Harry Hunsucker. Anyway, Justin Tafa's coming off back-to-back losses. Most recently, he lost to Jared Vanderaa by unanimous decision. Before that, he lost a split decision to Carlos Felipe. So he is 2-3 in his last 5. He has no training facility listed on Tapology, but I do know he's Australian, so he's fighting out of there. So that's kind of a fade, but because Australia has a lot of lockdown shit going on because of the pandemic. Harry Hunsucker, on the other hand, fights out of 4 Seasons mixed martial arts, which I pulled that up on Tapology. I don't recognize any of the fighters out of there. But here's the thing, like before that Tai Tuivasa ground and pound round 1 loss, Hurricane Harry Hunsucker, he's got a win over Corey Moon, where he knocked that guy out TKO in round 1. He's also got a loss to Jared Vanderaa, ground and pound round 1. So if you want to do MMA math, Tafa made it to decision and lost to Vanderaa. Harry Hunsucker, he got ground and pound round 1. Harry Hunsucker has never made it to round 2. I think maybe once in his amateur career, which he lost, I think, in that. But I want to say I could be wrong on that. I'm getting all these sloppy heavyweights. I get them mixed up. But Harry Hunsucker, I have written down, never made it to round 2 as a pro. That's for sure. However, in this fight, he does have a 2-inch height advantage, 1-inch reach advantage, and he's plus 270, guys. Plus 270. Oy. Against the Justin Tafa. I mean, what are you going to take out of that? Justin Badman Tafa against Harry Hurricane Hunsucker. Anyway, let's see what the cappers have to say, because I really don't know. This is such a sloppy, low-level fight. It could go either way for real. That minus 340 is garbage. I will not bet this. If I do, it's going to be for Hunsucker. So let's see what the cappers have to say in this. We've got it's your boy Eubanks. He's taking Tafa TKO in the first round. Good pick, I suppose. Then jump over here. We've got Stat Diggers. Wheezy is saying first round KO is the Wheezy. KO in the first is the bet to make, because, like I said, Hunsucker has yet to get out of the first round, and at, you know, he's already plus 70. So if you he's pretty much saying, if you're gonna do this, go with the value here. It's kind of a dog or pass spot for him. So and if Hunsucker wins, it probably will be via first round knockout. I think maybe sub. Like I said, I think he's got more submission victories than he does knockouts. I could be wrong, but I think I remember that stat. Then we've got James Lynch also taking Tafa. Okay, then jump back over here. Perfect Parlay Pursuit. Dan is solo on this, being the contrarian, whereas in the other guys, Luke and Alex are both taking Tafa. Alex was driving around, getting chauffeured around, drinking. The links will be in the description. I urge you guys to check them out, but they might not be until after tonight when I get back from the concert. But anyway, they will be eventually in the description. Check them out. Then the rest of the crew are taking, did I write? Oh, Stat Diggers DFS. I didn't write that. Brady is on board with Tafa. That's his pick, but he's not strong on it. Like Wheezy said, Wheezy's only taking Hunsucker for the value. He's not strong there either, but he will sprinkle some money on that. It will be a bet, just to get some value, and it could totally happen. And finally, we've got who we got? UFC Gambling Addicts Layton also taking Tafa here. He's even surprised. He himself is also surprised with the wide line, minus 340. How can that even be? But Layton is also taking Justin Badman Tafa. Me, I'm gonna go with the underdog here, plus 270. I mean, like I said, I think Tafa is like the Wish version of Tai Tuivasa. I'm kind of fading him because Harry Hunsucker has got just as many wins as Tafa does fights. They're both low level. Anything could happen. Hunsucker, he does all first round finish, like finishes and losses. Everything. He's never been in the second round as a pro. Never. So I'm going to go with Wheezy on this, and I'm going to take Hunsucker to get the victory here. That marker's not working. Throw that shit out. But I'm going to take Harry Hunsucker, and I think he's going to get it done. KO in the first. That's my pick. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So to recap, time check. I'm on point. To recap, I've got the beautiful Melissa Gatto, the beautiful, much younger Melissa Gatto, taking it to the veteran Sajara Eubanks, winning via decision over Sarge. Then I've got Mr. Highlight for the plus money, taking out the Air Jourdain because he disappointed me against Juicy J. And for that, I think André Ewell, knowing that this is the last fight of his contract, he's got like a new daughter, I think, so new father. I think André Ewell's, and plus he's going up a weight class where he's probably a little bit more comfortable, doesn't have to suck weight, so hopefully he have that strength thing going for him. I'm going to take André Ewell to get the decision victory over Charles Jourdain. And finally, I'm taking, for the big upset, the big plus money, Justin Tafa is not Tai Tuivasa. And I think Harry Hunsucker should be able to take care of Justin Tafa, hopefully, via first round. But I don't know, Tafa always goes to decision. This is low-level heavyweight fights. I'm pretty much doing the same thing Wheezy is. I'm taking the value here. I'm going to take a gamble. I'm a gambler. Plus money junkies all day. So I'm going to take the plus money on Harry Hunsucker to get the knockout over Justin Tafa round 1. Even though Tafa, Samoan, very durable, can take a punch. But Hunsucker does have ground game. Hopefully he can get it to the ground, do a little ground and pound or something. I'm going to go with that route, and I'm sticking to it. So, gather the info. Place your bets. Cash your tickets, as Nora would say. Cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to give me that like. Fill the comments with who you think's going to win these 3 fights. All of them could very well go either way. They're closer than the odds, especially this one. Much closer than the odds project. Oddly enough, I'm taking all underdogs. I guess the plus money junkie in me is coming out today for this show. But I'm taking all the underdogs on this. I'm going to parlay them as I do every show. It'll pay out very well if it does cash. Anyway, go ahead, leave your comments, call me a fool, I don't care, whatever. I appreciate you watching. Good luck on your bets. Stay tuned for tomorrow where I'm going to have some select fights. I'm going to finish up the prelims and give you the curtain jerker for the main card. It'll be a good show. I already did the research, so be sure to check that out. Good luck on your bets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.